Hello and welcome to another audio analysis. In today's video we'll be taking a look at the track Brag by the American heavy pop band The Home Team. This is the second track the band have released in recent times following their 2021 album Slow Bloom. We did get to hear Loud just a short period of time ago, and now we do have Brag to add to that. Two songs that I'd imagine will be featuring on an upcoming third album, and they're certainly a band with a very unique style. Most consider them to be a bit of a rock band, but they prefer to go with the heavy pop kind of label because they do incorporate so many different elements. They keep things upbeat, they keep things light, whilst mixing in that rock style with funk, R&B, and really just drawing inspiration from so many different elements from different genres of music and really mashing them all together to create a sound that, whilst may draw influence from certain other artists that have slight similarities, does form a very unique sound overall. And one other thing that's really interesting about this band is the way that they write a lot of music about what it's like to be a band. Even on Slow Bloom we did have the song Watching All Your Friends Get Rich, a song they wrote about their friends all getting jobs in tech and making tons of money whilst they were struggling and scraping by but doing something they love. So I love the way they actually do that and when they bring that across in their music, because it's not something we see a lot of bands really explore. So will this latest track give the band something to brag about or simply be overconfident? Let's take a look at exactly how it sounds. So anyway, this track, I'm loving what we're seeing on this upcoming album. We did see the same with Loud. We're seeing a bit of a switch into much more confident stylings and sounds. Where they've kind of previously touched on the difficulties of being a band, we're really seeing them trying to step out of their comfort zone and really explore this idea of being much more confident in your ability to do things, to really stepping outside of your comfort zone. And that's something they really seem to be exploring with this track. The idea of kind of walking that fine line between confidence and arrogance. You can almost see the cockiness that's really coming through, and they kind of almost looking at that as how certain artists have this arrogance about them. The fact of I can't get caught. You can see it with the videography, the idea of being caught after a bank robbery and just having that smile on your face because you know you're going to get away with it. So you think you got me, do you really think that you can stop me now? So you look at things like Johnny Cash, who was quite arrogant at times because even though he did a lot of things that he shouldn't have been doing, and many musicians do the same, they have this kind of air of confidence that they're able to get out of any situation. So I really feel like they're actually focusing on that a little bit. Write it down if you've been listening. Won't catch you stealing, but I doubt that you could find out how. So this idea of almost escaping because you're so confident in your own ability. So I do like the way that it's kind of bringing across this confidence but really showing it in a much more arrogant way, and it's something the band really seem to want to explore because they did face a lot of pressures with the slight changes we are seeing on this album, going for really incorporating more of those funkish elements and moving slightly more away from that rock and into that popish sound. They've kind of tipped the scales a little bit and they've faced challenges when doing that, but they're really showing that they're kind of owning that style and really owning that sound. And I think these songs really show that air of confidence and really help to bring it across without going too far over that line.
Can I kidnap the president's son again?
Oh my God, he's the man. I'll never see his face. Certainly won't take his place. Light my dials up in flames. I'd love to be disgraced, but only if you're watching. I'm so sorry, I've been naughty. I've been keeping secrets. Let me tell you who they're about. You ain't got it if you ain't got it, but let me know you're listening so I can meet up all of your doubt.
I really like the way that we're really seeing this funk, this light element really coming through on the track. It really does add such a strong tone. It's really easy to dance along and really get vibe. It kind of fills you full of confidence as well yourself, just really puts you in this uplifting state. And I love the way that in the chorus we do see that really pick up. I couldn't be your savior if I want to, because I know what it takes to be your next best thing. It's almost like you're kind of really just going that one step beyond because you're so confident in your ability to do so. If you think you got it going on, then tell the truth, because I don't mean to brag. Come and catch me if you can. So really just showing this idea of catch me if you can. The idea that you can't come up to my level because I'm kind of above everybody else, and that's really coming across. Oh my god, he's the man. I'll never see his face, certainly won't take his place. So you can almost see this kind of change in perspective. I'm this kind of king figure, and then somebody almost looking up to this person and saying, I can't show that level of confidence. I can't really go to that point and take their place. So again, really just showing this kind of self-understanding of knowing that fine line between confidence and arrogance, and really showing the fine balance that there are between the two. And I like how it's also got, well, not with this attitude. So I can't, if I don't have that confidence in myself, I'll never get higher up the ladder, almost like my doubts up in flames. I'd love to be disgraced, but only if you're watching me. So that, again, that perspective of that public eye on you, we do see a lot of artists being kind of defaced because of things that they're doing and things like that. So again, really keeping that key focus that the band do love to explore by looking at what it's like to be a band member and the different areas that you can explore with that, but also just kind of bringing in some key messages and doing it in such an exciting and funky way that comes across with this very strong vibe from those funk elements that are really incorporated into the back of the track.
Guess no one's there. You gotta give it to me. You gotta give it to me. Life ain't fair. Aren't you scared? I got the recipe, so try to copy me. I couldn't be your savior if I wanted to. I know what it takes to be your next best thing. If you think you got it going on, then tell the truth. 'Cause I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to brag. Okay, maybe I do, but I couldn't be a singer if I wanted to. 'Cause I know what it takes to be your next best thing. If you think you got it going on, then tell the truth. 'Cause I don't mean to brag. Come and catch me if you can. I couldn't be a singer if I wanted to. 'Cause nothing I could do would put me next to you. I'd be lying if I said I always kept my cool. I don't mean to brag. Couldn't catch me if you wanted to.
What the fuck? Where did he go? I don't know.
What a fun little ball of energy that track was. I really do love the way that they're finally dancing the line between pop, rock, funk, and really incorporating them into a track that really just has a very strong bounce to it. And even as we're moving through the bridge, who cares? No one's there. You're going to give it to me. Life ain't fair. Aren't you scared? I got the recipe, so try to copy me. So we're constantly seeing this flickering perspective between this arrogance and this confidence, and really trying to exhibit it in a very healthy way by just showing that you can take it too far at times. And it's almost like the band are almost playing on the idea of, what if we were this massive band that really had this big, vibrant lifestyle, had all this confidence, because they're not exactly the trendsetters of the world. Despite having a very unique sound to them, they aren't one that's really blowing up the globe. So maybe they're kind of still admitting that they kind of have that stage that they're at, where they need to have that confidence to be able to push their music further, but not be too arrogant to the point where they kind of take things for granted. So I love the way they dance this line between the two. I'm really loving this slight change in perspective that we are seeing with some of the tracks on this album, and you can really see as well how they fit into such a very unique sound and style. You can see certainly from Brian Butcher that he does have some elements you could maybe draw from other bands. You maybe look at Tillian from Dance Gavin Dance, or Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, artists like that that really exhibit this really strong confidence in their ability, and that really comes across. And you can see Brian Butcher very much doing the same, but really just again mixing in this popish sound that is then just crafted around these different ideas to really help the band in crafting something unique and having a sound that really sets them apart from so many other bands. Because although I can see lots of different elements and things that could be tied to other bands, I've never heard a band that create music quite the way they do and has that sound that's certainly very specific to them as a whole. So I'm glad to see them continue to do their own thing, really continue to start showing some of that confidence, and I'm really curious to see how future tracks are going to sound and whether they're going to kind of continue driving this idea forward with any future releases. So that will be everything for today's video, but as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts about this track in the comments section below. Do you like to see the band going for this more confident style rather than playing on the fact that life is difficult as a band, or do you wish they'd go back to some slightly more rockish based elements that we did see on those first 2 albums? I would love to know your thoughts. Also, if you'd like to see more content like this, then please do feel free to subscribe, and I will see you in the next audio analysis.